Welcome to our third installment of Places and Faces of Port St. Lucie. I'm Terissa Aronson, your host. I'm President and CEO of the St. Lucie County Chamber of Commerce. It is our honor, our pleasure, to co-host this event with Mayor Gregory Oravec. We head out into the community and we visit all the gems that are right here in your backyard. We've so far been to Club Med, we went and saw a Mets game together, and today we're going to take you golfing right here at PGA Golf Club, St. Lucie West, just west of 95 in the Reserve. Stay with us. We're spending the day at PGA Golf Club right here in the Reserve, we call it, in St. Lucie West. It's actually west of 95. And I have with me one of my favorite people in the world. He just happens to be one of my board members as well. I shocked him with that, so we have to start over completely. No, I'm just kidding. But he really is, what a great guy. And he's been here for a few years now and done wonderful things here out at PGA. And we're going to talk a little bit about what that is right now. So please welcome to the show Brent Baudier, who is the general manager here at PGA Golf Club, correct?
Well, thank you very much. I appreciate it. We welcome everyone here. Thank you very much for coming out.
Yeah.
That's right.
A little shout out from the mayor.
Please hold your applause. No, thank you very much. We definitely welcome everyone here, and we're very happy and honored to actually have you all here, and we appreciate you coming out.
Well, thanks for having us. Thank you for the shirt. I'm sporting
Perfect.
my PGA swag. I was very impressed by the pro shop.
That's right.
You could get a lot of stuff in there.
We can. We've through, obviously we'll speak on our renovation, but we're actually awarded top 100 golf shops in America, which is really a high honor for us. And everything's available right here in the golf shop.
It was. They had outfits not just for golf, but for everyday casual wear, infant wear. I saw some really nice infant wear stuff. And a free double bubble, which was...
that is correct. That is correct.
Double bubble chewing gum, which was looking very delicious. I didn't get to try. Okay.
I did try, and I don't know if my tongue is still blue here or not. But
I'm hoping so.
That's right. I'm not.
All right, well, let's talk about the renovations. You briefly mentioned it, but you guys did put in a lot of money out here and changed it quite a bit. We're in the Wanamaker room, which people are probably familiar with, but there was some renovations done in here. But I'm really impressed with the restaurant, with the Tableau.
Yeah, it was really good. We actually fully renovated every bit of square footage we had and added as well. We now have about 20,000 square feet of usable space, and it's been really great. We have different segments of our building segmented off for, membership, public access here to there, and the Tableau Pub has really taken off from a public perspective. We were voted, I believe it was Indian River Magazine, best hamburger on the Treasure Coast, which was pretty cool. And it gets packed every single day. It's really cool. Golfers and non-golfers alike.
Well, the food there is, I can testify that the food there is delicious. It is really very top-notch. And then you have a kind of a members-only section as well, if I'm not mistaken.
We do.
Which is totally new. That was a build-on.
Complete add-on. That's called 1916 Bar and Grill. We have various membership products available, and everything from social to golf memberships. And if people are just interested in dining and social events and activities, that social membership is really great, and it does give you access to the 1916, which is obviously you have the Tableau as well, but the 1916 is a little more upscale, yet still casual.
Okay.
Really neat setting. Overlooks the 18th on the Wanamaker, which is really nice.
Yeah. And then you get access to St. Lucie Trails Pool.
Correct.
And some facilities at the Learning Center.
We do. We've got the Learning Center, which is, maybe a quarter of a mile away here, and also St. Lucie Trail, which is another golf course that services just east of, I guess it's about 2 miles east of the interstate, and really great golf course. Redid our greens about 2 years ago, and they're really top notch right now. Good facility.
Yeah. And you're, semi-public, semi-private, so if people are interested in golfing, now's a great time to get it. You have
absolutely
great pricing probably for the next couple of months.
Absolutely. We do very aggressive pricing during the summertime, and the locals do take advantage. They really do.
Well, let's talk about your economic impact for just a moment here. For one thing, you employ how many people in St. Lucie County?
We employ north of 200 people a year, which is pretty significant. We've got a great team here. Really great place to work, really is.
For private sector, I mean, that's a huge amount of people
really
in St. Lucie County. And then you attract people from all over the world. In fact, we had a group of foursome that went out in our mini tournament today, and they seem to be British.
They do. They do.
I say seems because I haven't seen any verification.
That's right.
But they did know the one British guy that the mayor knew.
That's then they're in. That's right.
Proof enough for me.
With a hole-in-one too, might I add.
I know. We have
Congratulations.
a special prize for him for getting the hole-in-one. We got into our bag of tricks, and we're either going to give him, it's dealer's choice.
Okay.
Is it for the 4th of July dinner?
The mayor said, is it for the 4th of July dinner? Because we try not to date this thing, too. But yeah, actually, yes, next year we'll see you there. How about that? But we have quite a few things from our partners, the Cake Lady, 2nd Street Bistro, and Mulligan's, and we'll try to get him a prize before he leaves for getting that hole-in-one. But the rest of you verified it, correct? Yes. Okay, very good. Again, we're pretty lax here.
Fingers crossed right now.
They said they verified it. They said they were from Britain.
That's right.
Hey,
right.
whatever.
I want to verify that I am not from Britain.
Oh, one of them's bailing out on that, isn't he?
That is correct.
Very good. One says no.
That's right.
All right.
But to that point, we have visitors from over 50 countries a year that visit us here in Port St. Lucie, and it's
Specifically for this.
Absolutely. This is a world-class facility. There's no question.
Yeah, and you have several courses. I'm familiar with the die. We did a tournament. The Chamber of Commerce did a tournament on the die course. I call it sand. It's more of a beach.
It's a good assessment.
Course.
That's right.
But that one's being renovated now.
Being fully grassed right now, redoing greens and also redoing fairways and bunker surrounds. So that'll be up and running in November. Is where we're targeting right now.
And the Ryder as well.
Ryder's still a very friendly golf course with the Ryder, very open. Keep those roughs down. Watermaker is what we would consider our championship course.
Okay.
Just redid the greens there a little over a year ago. Redid the fairways there a little over a year ago, and really coming in at form right now.
Well, I just want to say that, for one thing, you have been such a great partner. You've been here in the county for what, probably?
A little over 3 years.
I was just going to say a little over 3 years, and you've been such a great partner to us. You serve on our board, and we've been out here quite a few times.
Sure.
But the economic impact that you guys provide our citizens, you did a $7 million renovation. You bring in, how many rounds of golf a year?
We probably do north of 125,000 rounds of golf. It's a lot of foot traffic we get
That's
here.
a lot of money coming in.
It is.
And you bring wonderful visitors from lands far away.
That is correct.
Which we appreciate.
That is correct.
Unverified lands far away.
That's right.
But so we really appreciate everything you do. Is there one thing that you need them to know? Where should they go to find out about membership? Because I am a what's my membership? It's,
you have a social membership.
A social membership.
That is correct.
I'm so socially inept. I didn't.
That is correct.
I didn't even know the name.
Well, everything is available online.
Okay.
We've got a website of PGA Village, pgagolfclub.com. You can find us very easily on the web, and we've got membership opportunities. We also have online booking for tee times and whatnot, so it's
very good. Very easy to
accessible.
do. And you can always call the chamber, and we'll hook you up with. You have hotel partners as
Absolutely.
well, though. So
Sure, absolutely.
There's lots of great things here. Good.
Absolutely.
Very good. Well, thank you for having us.
Well, thank you so much.
Thank you for allowing us to go out on the course and do a little tournament.
Our pleasure.
And I'm sure lunch is going to be delicious as always.
I would assume.
All right, perfect.
Thank you so much. We appreciate it.
Thank you. And we will be right back with Mayor Gregory Oravec. Welcome back to Places and Faces. I'm Terissa Aronson from the St. Lucie County Chamber of Commerce. This is somewhat of a new event, a new show that I am doing with Mayor Gregory Oravec. We're going out to places in the community so we can show you all at home just what great things we have here in St. Lucie County. Today we are, of course, at PGA Golf Club. We've done the Mets, we did Club Med, and now we're at beautiful PGA. Welcome, Mayor Oravec.
Thank you, Terissa, and thank you, audience, for being here. And of course, hey, PSL.
Yeah, there you go. We're only in PSL because it's government access TV, so we're mostly in I think we're available in all PSL though now.
We are. We have just gotten onto AT&T Uverse,
Yep.
so that takes out a lot of St. Lucie West, who previously wasn't able to watch on TV, although we're always available online across the world to all 50 countries that gave us guests here at PGA this last year, and the many more that are out there.
Now have much needed access.
They can't wait
to
to
this
see
show.
this show right
Yes,
here.
very good. The world is safe.
Well, we are proud, obviously, the city, to partner with the Chamber, and we do a lot of good work, and just want you to know how much that we appreciate you and your leadership, but then also the membership. We do a lot of good in the community together, and have leadership class coming up, and
we do.
Can't sell that enough. If people are interested in St. Lucie County, in Port St. Lucie, really encourage them to apply to join leadership.
Yeah, I was just trying to talk to Brent, but it's unprecedented access behind the scenes of everything in St. Lucie County. We do a government day, we do a health services day, we go behind the education system. Just amazing things, great things to know and learn, and I do recommend it highly. I do it every year as the facilitator. I go through the class every year. That's what I always say. I'm in every class, but I learn something every year, so it's amazing. I love it.
It's provided me a good foundation as we've continued to live and love Port St. Lucie. And of course, through that class, you get to see many places like the PGA, and what an honor it is to be here. And of course, on TV, we have some sticklers out there, as you may or may not know.
We do.
We even have
imagine.
Historians. So let's do our disclosure right now. And that is, we are not in the city of Port St. Lucie right now.
Oh, yeah,
so
that is going to come up.
if I get an angry note from Chairman Johnson or St. Lucie County Commission, it's completely justified. We are in what is called an enclave. We are in an unincorporated St. Lucie enclave. Yes. But I want you to know that we have you completely surrounded. So it is truly an enclave, and PSL surrounds this, but clearly we're part of we are one community.
We are. It's a Port St. Lucie address. Technically, yes, it's in the unincorporated county.
But we're so proud of PGA. And any good presentation, as you know, in the introduction, you say what you're going to talk about, then you talk about it, and then in closing, you say what you talked about, and then take any questions. And so our good friend Brent Baudier, before this the previous segment, he hit the main points that I'd want to also discuss. And we're just so proud of this facility because it's world class. Yeah. And we're in an election year. We got to worry about. I won't even say it on this station because this is public access, and this is not political. This is not a political show.
It is not a political show.
But let me just say, we've had a long political season. People might not want to believe the rhetoric from a mayor at this point, but you don't have to take the mayor's word for it. This is a world-class facility. You can look at Golf Magazine, you can look at Golf Digest, you can look at Golf Weekly, and this is a top 100 facility in the country and also in a state that's known for golf. Yeah, and two of their courses are highly ranked, like 23 and in the 30s for being one of the best golf courses in the nation. It's an amazing facility. It is a flagship facility for PGA. They have two of them, and one of them is right here in St. Lucie County. I mean, that's something to be very, very proud of. Oh, we are. We're incredibly proud of the PGA. And in fairness, though, it's all we have to do is hop across 95 and go to St. Lucie Trail, and that is in Port St. Lucie proper. Technically in Port St. Lucie. Yes, absolutely, and it's beautiful. And the whole neighborhood that's sprung up around it is gorgeous. But it's a world-class facility, and you can play golf many places, but you can't play golf on these courses and go to the Learning Center really anywhere else. Right, right. The Learning Center of itself is a whole show of what they have and what they can do over there. If you're serious about golf, this is certainly the place to be. Now, you mentioned we talk about, we say what we're going to talk about, and then we talk about it, and then we close it. I don't feel like we ever know what we're going to talk about when we do these shows, do we? We do a little ad-libbing. We do a little ad-libbing. But I like to just kind of take the opportunity and to tell everybody that's watching and is here with us today, this came about because you are occasionally on the Coffee with the PSL Council show that we do, where we talk about serious issues going on in the city and affecting the city, and we do a rotation thing, and so I only see you like every 4 or 5 months, and I got a lot of great feedback on the things that we talk about when we are together, and so people wanted to see a little more of that, and I wanted to do it in a way that was positive for the community, which was get out to all these great places. Working at the Chamber, I get the call daily, what is there to do? Well, let me show you. So this was an opportunity to kind of, two birds, as they say. Well, I mean, isn't that something? I was going to post that on, I don't know how many Facebookers we have in the audience here or at home. Probably a lot, because I just read a study that 1 out of 5 mobile minutes on your mobile phone are spent on Facebook, and that's an amazing stat.
Wow.
To think about how much time is spent there. But as mayor, you hear that sometimes, and as executive director, the head of the chamber, you hear that there's not much to do. Well, last night, I was at the Civic Center working out with my son Christian. Comic-Con was going on.
Comic-Con, I was there yesterday too.
It was fantastic. This morning at 7 o'clock, my beautiful wife and I, Tanya, we were at the tree giveaway put on by Keep Port St. Lucie Beautiful, UF IFIST, Master Gardeners. I'm going to miss somebody. Treasure Coast High School was there. A number of, at the Port St. Lucie Botanical Gardens, in itself, a place to go and a thing to do, where citizens across St. Lucie County were getting free trees. So that was 7 o'clock. We're here. You could have been at this golf tournament, a little mini tournament, getting holes in one, apparently.
Yep.
At the same time, if you wanted to go golf for PAL, instead of getting a hole in one, you could have done that in the city. We're going to have a barbecue here shortly.
We are, right here at PGA, that was open to chamber members to come on down.
There is so much to do, and I do appreciate the opportunity to take questions from the audience. I don't know if anyone here would have a question, but I actually have a question for Brent. And for our locals, you know, when we get into high season, it's really tough. This place is booked up. It's also, for a local, it's not economically the best time of year to go. What is the best time for our locals to visit this world-class facility?
He's Phil Donahueing you.
That's a really good question. Actually, the St. Lucie Trail, which is in Port St. Lucie proper, we've actually priced that very aggressively for the local market itself to be the home course of Port St. Lucie. So year-round, St. Lucie Trail does offer some very competitive rates and a very fine facility. So there is really no one best time, because we have really pegged the St. Lucie Trail as our community golf course. All right, now this is hard-hitting journalism. So when they want to play the championship Wanamaker course, though, the championship, what is the best time for our locals to do that? I would say to have the best tee times available, I would go from May to probably around September, October. There's a great window with a lot of open access to tee times here. Thank you. Absolutely. Appreciate it. We got to get real information to our residents.
Yeah, and I do want to say congratulations to Brent and Jimmy Terry and the rest of the staff here for celebrating their 20th anniversary. They're doing that this year right here in St. Lucie County.
It's always fun to be at PGA. Come on. Even if you're not a golfer, to walk up, Tanya and I walked up, it's beautiful, and the birds are singing. And
it's beautiful.
It's communing with nature.
We call that chamber weather. We brought it with us today. Don't go anywhere else in the city, because we brought it only here.
I agree. We do call that a Bluebird Chamber of Commerce Day. But what do you expect in Port St. Lucie, right?
Of course, or Southern Florida. It's a great place to live.
It's always fun to be here, but what a special pleasure to help them celebrate their 20th anniversary.
Yeah, very excited about that. I just want to hit a couple of points that are going on in the city of Port St. Lucie. You guys have hired an attorney?
Yes, we have. Reggie Ozenton,
and has a vast experience in being a city attorney or a governmental attorney?
He does, and one of the things that made him a compelling candidate in my eyes is that he's been a winner on every level. He was a top 20, he went to a top 20 law school. He himself was a mayor.
Oh, wow.
A city attorney, and it just seemed like at every stage he had achieved success. And really, there's a lot of different ways to describe my hopes, and I think the council's hopes for the city, but at the end of the day, I believe that we can be champions, and we need to build a team of champions.
And I see that happening, and I brought this up because there's a couple of things, and you know me, I'm not typically critical in public, but I will voice my opinion to you.
Yes, you will. Which I appreciate, by the way.
Yeah.
Who wants to be surrounded by a lack of real opinions, or who wants to be told only what they want to hear? No one who's really dedicated to champions and gold medals should want. I call that the emperor's new clothes.
Yeah.
Who wants that?
You should, and I think everybody can actually voice their opinion to the mayor. you don't always have to do it in a public forum. You're accessible, and that's kind of how I like to do it, because then there's always two sides. It's more of a dialogue. I'm not a fan of public comment because I feel like it's, you know, I don't know if I know what I know yet. You know what I mean? Before you talk to somebody. But I did get to meet also your new communications director.
Christina?
Yes, also
Seaberger.
great experience, and already have worked with that department since she's come on board, and have seen great things happen out of there.
In fact, and she's expanding the team, and I agree with you that they have really, we've always had good people in the department, but as far as raising the level of professionalism, and when you're talking about communication, especially where things are visual, you need the eye.
You do.
And that team has it, and very impressed. And if you look at being a championship organization or what it takes, I'm going to argue that there's a common thread throughout it. You have to be able to articulate the vision, the outcome you want. You have to be able to say it. And then you have to be able to draw a roadmap on how to get there that has milestones, and also the budget. Then you have to work your fanny off. And then stuff happens. And so that whole thing, in any detours that you have to take, you communicate, communicate, communicate until you get there, and then you have to get there. But then when you do, you get to celebrate it, you get to build off of that. And so having those heavy lifters, those leaders in the organization is critical, and then on top of that, to be able to communicate it through an exceptional communications department is critical to where we want to go. So it is
Communication is everything.
It's really encouraging. I got to tell you, I'm very excited. I hope that within the next month or so, we're going to get the verdict on the Crosstown Bridge case. And I don't know.
You're saying we will, or you're hoping that we do?
That's the schedule.
Okay,
so, you know,
good.
we should within the...
We're supposed to,
Let
then.
me say, you know, today is the, what are we, the 17th today? So let's say that in the next 45 days, that verdict should come down. We're waiting on the judge.
Okay.
So everything is submitted.
Good.
Of course, we don't control a judge's schedule.
No, you don't.
No.
And no control really of anything at this point. It's in his hands.
That's right. The case has been argued, but I was there. And the thought actually went through my mind is I hope that judges never feel sorry for expert witnesses, because the other side's expert witness really had a bad day.
Oh.
So it was good for us. And so when that positive verdict comes down, I think that that's where we're going to look back and say that was the moment where something really special was happening in Port St. Lucie. I really believe that.
And that corridor will lead east and west, and it needs to be in between. At Prima Vista, we only have 2 corridors to US 1 at this point that lead over to our Civic Center, which we're hoping to develop and continue to develop. You also got a new facilities manager that had actual facilities management experience.
Sure, Kathleen, you're talking about at the Civic Center?
At the Civic Center,
Yes.
which is great news too. So I see the team building. We have some turnover in council. We'll be seating.
We're going to have a new majority.
We are. Very good. What else do you want to talk about? Do you think that we
Any
need
questions?
to...
Any
Oh, you wanna
questions from the
take questions?
crowd? Yeah, let's take...
Jack, give me a moment to repeat it after you ask it, though.
And we're going to go to Jack Lutz in just a second. And I want to just express my gratitude to Jack and Brent and PGA, because just over the last couple of years, and since Jack has come on board, they've really, for me, raised their game as it relates to participating in the community.
Oh, yeah.
Like I see them everywhere.
Yeah.
And it makes a difference. And just like
Huge.
we're building something in Port St. Lucie, I think that Port St. Lucie, Fort Pierce, St. Lucie County, the Chamber, and our partners like PGA are really taking it to the next level and working on something special. And I can't thank that guy enough.
Yeah, I'm with you on that one with Jack. I mean, he has done great things for us, and he is very, very... You're making... Okay, now I'm going to get up for the next question, because he's doing it, and I feel bad. So I'm coming over here. Somebody have a question. Jack?
Terissa, thank you. I really don't have a question. I do have a compliment, though, for the mayor and his staff. Although I'm in the golf business, the mayor and his staff just accomplished something to satisfy a segment of sports residents in the community, and you'd like to talk about that?
Oh, here, take this. I'll get it from him.
No,
Okay.
you want
Yeah.
to get up?
Yeah.
Now you were worried about your shorts before. Just saying. In addition to being a great leader over here, Jack has also been part of pickleball aficionado, a pickleball club. Does anyone out there play pickleball in the audience? Okay, good. I'm glad we have a pickleballer out there. I know there's some in the listening audience, because I've just been amazed at how many emails, phone calls that we've received about pickleball and the desire for more facilities. And while we allowed it to be played at our Civic Center, we were really looking for a home, a better home for this growing sport. And I don't have the numbers in front of me, but if you ever Google it, you'll be amazed at how many people are out there playing pickleball. And if you're not familiar with it, it's a paddle sport, it's a racket sport, and it's played on a court smaller than a tennis court. And so the city has a beautiful racket facility at Whispering Pines, where we have several lighted courts, USTA compliant. And at the beginning, with Jack and the group came in, we said, wow, wouldn't it make sense for it to go here so that we could kind of raise the bar on our racket club? And it happened. It took continuous effort where you had to really put your shoulder into it and keep on working. But when we do that as a community and as stakeholders, if we are on the same page and we push long enough, good things happen. And that was an example of it, Jack, and I appreciate it.
Jack, 1 second.
I think it's also interesting as an emerging sport that most of the viewers probably don't know that in the month of September right now, I'm not sure the exact date, but at Club Med there is a national meeting of all the ambassadors of pickleball nationwide that came to Port St. Lucie to have their meeting here.
And it's wonderful to see something bear fruit. So thank you, to the association here that made it happen, and of course to our wonderful Parks and Recreation employees that are working hard for us.
Anybody else have a question for the mayor or the chamber? Or
Come on, should we have had lunch and hottie toddies
Yeah, they
first?
probably.
Come on.
What happened was we sent them out in the heat to play golf on a walking course, and then said, "Hey, come in here, be bright-eyed and bushy-tailed, and ask lots of questions."
Big Hugh, you got anything for me? No?
No?
All right.
I have a question.
Okay.
Sure.
Can't both go.
I beat you.
You did. Fair and square. You beat me.
I am not a golfer, so for those of us that are not golfers, what activities are there for us to do here at PGA?
Oh, there's many, and I'll defer to Brent a little bit, but I can tell you what I do. If you're a member, a social member, I'm horrible with that word. I'm horrible at it and horrible with the word. But a social member, you can use the pool at St. Lucie Trail. There's a gym at the Learning Center. You can come in for lunch in Taplow. You get a 20% discount, even on happy hour, right, Mark? I know. So there's many things. And what else you can do? Well, they'll teach you to golf, right? Absolutely. I feel like I'm doing your commercial for you, and if I do it wrong, I'm going to be in a lot of trouble. All right, Jack wants to add something.
Yeah, the PGA of America, in their Growth of the Game initiative, we have a program over at the Learning Center that's called Get Ready Golf, that the public can actually come in and join that. For $99, they'll get 5 lessons, group lessons. So it's a good way to get into the game and participate with a group of folks that are also learning the game.
But to recap, it sounded like even if you wanted to resist that golf recruitment, that you could eat, you could be social, and then you could work off what you ate at the gym and the pool.
Oh, social's a verb, too.
And you could look marvelous at the pool, right?
Yeah, in PGA wear.
That's right.
Do you get a discount on, for being a social member, you get a discount on the...
And we also have tennis now at St. Lucie Trail.
Oh, that's right, tennis. I forgot about tennis at St. Lucie Trail.
Don't forget about tennis, especially after we were just talking about rackets.
Yeah. So there you go. There's lots to do here. It's a beautiful place, too. Honestly, I can't say enough about the restaurant. They do such a great job.
Hey, if you're going to do a commercial, that's a discount at the top 100 pro shops in the world or the country? Country. All right.
And
I'm going world.
Okay, he's going world.
Prove me wrong.
We have Brits here that may know a thing or two.
They're part of the free world, absolutely.
And don't forget free double bubble.
Any other questions? Stump the mayor? Nothing? Come on, you have to have a good one. You're wearing a green shirt. Anything back there?
No.
No? All right. This is a kind audience.
It is a hungry audience is probably more like it, which is why they're like, please stop asking questions.
Well, thank you to our hosts at PGA Golf Club.
Yeah, thank you, Brent. Thank you to you, everybody here at the PGA Golf Club family. Thanks to the mayor. I can't really honestly thank him enough for doing this show with me. We do it on a Saturday. You have to drag poor Tanya out, and I'm really happy that you do it with us, because I think that this is the one opportunity we have to showcase some of the gems we have here in the community, and I know that people will listen to you. They don't listen to me so much, but they'll listen to you.
I don't know about that, but it's a true honor to be with you and to serve the people. And if you just think about the few places we've been since we started this show, and really saying that PSL stands for Port St. Lovett. Club Med, it's the only one in the United States proper.
Fantastic place.
So the only place you can go to a Club Med in the continental U.S. happens to be in Port St. Lucie. We've been at Tradition Field, home of the Met spring training.
Yep, Tim Tebow's going to be there Monday.
You got Tebow coming. We'll see if he makes the cut or not. But regardless of what happens to Tebow, our former UF quarterback, the Mets are still going to be there, and that's the only place that you can see them spring training in our St. Lucie Mets, right? So that's another one-of-a-kind place. And then here we are at one of the best courses, PGA. At the PGA Golf Club, that has a couple of the best courses in all the land, right here in Port St. Lucie, in St. Lucie County.
Only 2 PGA centers.
I mean, they even throw in the top 100 pro shop for good measure.
It's amazing.
And only in PSL. So it's important for us to celebrate that. And we tend, as people, to focus on the negative, because that's what threatens us. Like good news goes in and out because you don't have to worry about it. It's good news. So we can focus on the negatives in life and on news feeds, but it's important for us to celebrate these positives, especially when they're world-class and one-of-a-kind.
I feel like it's the Chamber's job to celebrate the positives, honestly, so that's another reason why I think it's a great thing for us to be doing together, because it really is. You do hear enough about the negative. You can see enough of the negative. Everybody wants to comment on the negative, as you know. So it's just nice to be a part of something positive that's showing people some great things. So I really do enjoy it, and I do appreciate coming out.
Sounds good. And I really do think we should interview our hole in one. Not here as part of the show, but you can have a little standalone. And the guy got a hole in one. I mean, let's celebrate that guy. Come on.
Okay.
Yeah, let's jazz up this show a little bit.
It's a 36 to 52 yard course, but still very impressive.
But how many of you got it? You keep downplaying that. I don't know.
I'm just saying it's, you know, he asked me if he want a car.
Well, a guy can dream, can't he?
He can dream. He can dream. But yes,
right. Well,
I think we will. Thank you, and we will. Well, I think we will maybe get a little interview with him and see what happens.
Yeah, let's have some fun.
And you'll see at home if it ends up in any way, shape, or form.
Make sure he signs the waiver
for public consumption, which I doubt. But thanks again to PGA and for everybody for watching. And remember, you can see us at AT&T. You can see us on Comcast, Hometown Cable, and you can go to cityofpsl.com and look up the PSL TV 20 tab and watch us there as well.
Until the next time, thank you.
Have a great day.
All right, hey PSL, it's your mayor, Greg Oravec, and I'm here with
Keith Ficklin.
Keith Ficklin, is it?
Ficklin, yeah.
Ficklin. Well, we're here at beautiful PGA Golf Club, and we had a little mini tournament today, and something exciting happened.
Yeah, I had a hole-in-one on first tee, all of 40 yards, I suspect.
Oh, don't tell him that. It was actually 400 yards. He hit driver and got a good bounce off the car path. Now, how long have you been a resident of the city?
About 10 years.
Well, we're happy to have you, and people on TV should know that everyone that lives in Port St. Lucie hits holes in one at least once a year, but only here at the beautiful PGA Golf Club. Now, how long have you been playing golf?
About 20 years.
20 years. Now, do you always hit holes in one?
No, that was my first one.
Well, better late than never. Now, do you have anything to share with the residents of Port St. Lucie?
No, just get out here and play this great game.
All right, well, we're happy to have you as a resident. Thank you for living in Port St. Lucie, and look forward to seeing you on the links.
Yeah, you're not bad for a mayor.
Well, hey, that's high praise. Thank you. Until the next time, PSL.